This is a table about violence in Israel. You can see just now what are the words here. Alimut in Israel, violence. Now, before to see the recent news in the internet, last days, a burning problem, the violence in Israel among the Jews, we don't speak about Arabs, has exceeded all limits. It is impossible to succeed in the fight against the rising and spreading violence if there is no real deterrence. No, the question how to solve the problem. But anybody who follow the news in Israel last days is frightening. In a school, boys stabbed other one many times. He's now critically wounded and even danger to his life. Other places, Apula, school, similar things. And also among Jews themselves, sometimes quarreling about things which make them angry, and they stab people and killed ones. It is a non-story. It's unfortunately maybe that Israel Jews are in great, very nervous, but it is frightening to see, in buses, the drivers are beaten. If somebody does not like that, he doesn't want to stop in a place which is not allowed. It's frightening, one case after case. So all over education's place, everyone try to solve this problem, but the problem cannot be solved. But because if Torah is not kept, so it's difficult to solve such problems. So therefore I was looking for best meeting of violence in Israel. And normally, as I said, I look in the book of Deuteronomy because it's against our millennial, with the Vilna Gaon says, and here what you are going to see, all of these verses and everything comes in part of chapter 3 and chapter 4, part of these two chapters. No, definitely very significant. So what I was looking for? So I was looking for the word alimut in black, alimut. In Israel, you see, I didn't look for alimut Israel, because then I will have many times, but I want to find a meeting of alimut by Israel. Okay, it came in difficult skip, a long one, but still, the fact is that you have your alimut and you have by Israel, in blue, by Israel. The word Israel appears many times, like is written in the verse here which says, Vata Israel, now Israel. Shimuna lachokim, listen to the laws and statutes of the Torah. Then you have few times Israel here, and you have the most important verse about our time, which is unbelievable, but when you will have troubles, and all these things will happen to you in the end of days. End of days, exactly where now, end of days. V'shavta, then you will return to God, and you will listen to Him, because you will realize in the end that we have so many troubles, inside and outside, Iran and all this, what is going today, such terrible time and difficult time, and terror and so on. So this was the Torah says, that in the end of days, V'achit hayamim, when you have a lot of troubles, you will have to return to God, to listen to Him, to obey the Torah. Then comes here also, all the verses really have to do with this. Ushmarta v'asita, you should keep all this Torah, because this is your wisdom and understanding in the eyes of the nations. Amazing. This was written. Keep and do the Torah, because this is your wisdom and understanding in the eyes of the nation. Fits very much with the code, with the Bible code, definitely, because we see the wisdom of the Torah. When all the nations will listen to this thing, and they will say, Achukim ha'ele, how clever these people are, which have such wisdom and statutes. Then we have other verse which is the same thing. Amazing to see it, that Goy Gadol says the Jewish people are great people, and again saying, Asher lo chuku mishpatim, tzadikim, is righteous laws and statutes in all this Torah. Then you have another very important thing. You should teach your children, Odatan levanecha, and your grandchildren, about Sinai revelation, about the Torah that we got. I mean, very important education of children, no? When we don't have right education, so you see, children, boys in school are stabbing each other, wounding them, and sometimes almost murdering, frightening. Then we have here the most important thing to know, that we are in our land. Asher Hashem Elokecha noten lachem. This is the land which God gives to you. No, we have to know that Israel is the land which God gave to you, but He gave to you as an inheritance. This is written here clearly. Hashem Elokecha noten lachem, but only if you keep the land. If not, as is written there, if not, you will be chased out from this land, and you will be in a danger of destruction. Unbelievable, very frighteningly sentence. I testify to you, if you will not keep the Torah, you will be destroyed, and then, really frightening. Because the leftists are causing all these things, because they don't believe this is the left, and because they don't believe in the Torah and nothing. So, as I said, also again, the Torah tells us that you will come to your land, and unfortunately, you and your children will be corrupted. Corruption, no? This is what we see today. So as I said, this is now all over. You see in Israel, when you hear the news, also people think, how can we solve these problems every day? Boys in school stabbing each other, people the street and the buses when they are cross, when they are angry, stabbing, fighting, smiting. It's not the Arabs, we speak about Jews. So, this is as I said, this is from Israelis, but people wanted me to translate it to English. So this is what I told you in English. This is what you see here. Violence in Israel, asking Israel, listen to your laws, your judgment, which the Torah gave you, and keep it, because if you keep it, it's amazing. Shmartem v'asitem, keep them, do them, ki chochmatchem bibinatchem, because this is your wisdom and understanding, le'nei amim, in front of the eyes of nations. Asher yishma'un et kol hachukim haele, will listen all these laws, and he said, how clever and wise this nation, no? Hoping that we will be. Then you have the same thing. They will say, Goy Gadol, these Jewish people are a great nation, and Asher lo chokum mishpatim tzadikim, we have such just laws. Then important, teach your children about Sinai, about the Torah. Odatam levanecha, Asher asidema, yeah. And again, you come to Israel and not keeping the Torah, Tolid banim, you have children ve'ishchatem, and they become corrupted. So, as I said, this is mainly a message for Israel, yeah, very important. But as I said, you can see in the paper in Israel, if you see violence, you can see it's a burning problem, really. In the paper, the violence in Israel among Jews does exceed all limits. It is impossible to succeed in the fight against the rising and spreading violence if there is no real data. So says that if you turn, but in fact, if you don't keep the Torah mitzvot, if you don't keep Shabbos, definitely, especially according to Kabbalah, mainly sins which have to do with immorality and so on, create spiritual angels, evil angels, evil forces, which is called klipot, and they cause all this trouble, all this problem. So, interesting and significant and important table about really a burning problem in Israel. The violence is frightening. Mama says, only the last day, in schools, the boy was stabbed and in a danger of life now in hospital. And in Afula and other places, the same thing. So the parents, striking, but the striking doesn't help much. Education is important. Education them according to the Torah, or to behave one to the other. And this is what can solve the problem. But once the Jews, unfortunately, Israel, don't keep the Torah, translate the Torah, the Shabbos, and all these things. So it's no wonder that we have such burning problem in Israel, violence in Israel, which exceeds really all limits. It is unbelievable, young children are stabbing each other. I mean, stabbing, this one who was stabbed all over his body, and is in danger of life now. So, this was the people wanted to know in English. So, they also should learn, non-Jews, Gentile also have to keep 7 laws of Noach, and not keeping them also might cause trouble. So, interestingly important.